Good morning, everyone. It's Stretford. Day you're doing, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's having a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining me today, guys. I hope you're all doing okay. I mean, at the end of the day, look, it's not the best kind of scenario, but to be honest with you, I'm going to bring some light into the room, guys, because at the end of the day, I expected something like this was going to happen. I did. And I knew that this was going to be a hard fix. And I knew that it's not going to be easy and it's going to take time. So for me, this season, in regards to the Premier League, I just feel like the best thing we could do in regards to the Premier League is just to obtain a respectable position by the end of the season, which means getting into the top 10, which is a little bit obviously bad for Man United, of course, what I witnessed in my lifetime, some of the seasons we've had. As I've been a fan, of course, for a long time, we've had some great seasons, but sometimes we have to take a little bit of a hit for progress. And the hit is obviously Man United suffering this season so that the bad eggs and the bad apples next season get removed from the football club. Eventually, Man United will move away from a lot of these players. And you know what? There are some players that will stay. There are some players that I personally rate. But there are many, much more, that are going to be leaving his football club very soon. And we have to give Ruben Amorim some time. We have to wait until next season. It's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. We're going to suffer. Ruben Amorim did say we're going to suffer, didn't he? And we are suffering. For goodness sake, crying out loud, we're suffering. But the thing is, we have to look at things in context. And we shouldn't be, overly sensationalizing everything than when we kind of expected that this was going to happen. Ruben Amorim is not a miracle worker. Erik ten Hag was not a miracle worker. At the end of the day, there are fundamental issues at Manchester United that run deeper than just the squad. There is a fitness issue. There is a mentality issue. There is a culture issue. You can throw out all the analogies you want. Man United have problems, right? And Man United's problems stem so deep that it's going to take a lot of work to get it back to where it should be. It might mean cleaning that house. It might mean getting rid of 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or even 9 players. It might mean that, maybe it is. Maybe these players are just not up for it. Sometimes there are talented players. Sometimes they're players that can play for the likes of Nottingham Forest. There's players who can play for the likes of Everton. But when it comes to Manchester United, they cannot perform. Why can't they perform at Manchester United? Because the club is too big for them. Sometimes the club weighs heavy on the shirt. It weighs heavy for some people. And some players just don't have the character to play for the football club. And it's precisely what I've been saying for many, many years about Sir Alex Ferguson, when he used to chase a player, when he used to go after a player, he used to get to know the player personally rather than just getting to know his technical ability or his footballing ability. He used to get to know his private life, his personal life, his family life, his married life. He used to get to know people like players like that deep, These days we're signing players. Oh, he's a good player. We're signing him. That's it. He's a good player. It shouldn't be like that. We need to get to know some of these players because, to be honest with you, we're getting to know some of these players ourselves, ain't we? That when the chips are down, they give up. They give up. When we went down to 10 men, I didn't expect Man United to completely capitulate again. Completely. We conceded a goal and then it was disallowed. And then we got a goal straight afterwards against us. It was only at the time when we made the substitutions that Man United started to play some football. And that was disappointing for me, in my opinion. Let's read some of your comments, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video, guys. Good morning, my friend, MUFC now. How you doing, brother? How you feeling? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling bad? At the end of the day, it's a horrible one, isn't it? I'm feeling a little bit down myself, but you know what? I'm looking at things in context. Absolutely. Bruno Magnifico, thank you so much, mate. You know what? I'm lost for words. Sometimes I'm lost for words. But, one thing I would say is that me, you, every one of us have been through the mud, this last year, last 2 years, whatever it is. And everyone thought it was a Ten Hag problem. Everyone thought, attacking Ten Hag will be the issue and everything will get better. Everything rosy in the garden again. Now we got another great manager in, another one. And the same problems are persisting. Now we have to look at things a little bit more deeply. We have to look at things a little bit more like in a way of a kind of like in an educational way and look at it what it really is, guys. Because at the end of the day, look, Man United there is luck on our side against us. Of course, there's luck against us. We know the red card, of course. But then I talk about your captain, right? When you think about your captain, you expect your captain to be a leader, to be an inspiration, to be an example to all those players on the pitch. Our captain, when the chips are down, gives up, right? When he doesn't fill up for it, he gives up. That's the third time he's been sent off this season. Third time, right? And at the end of the day, when you got a yellow card, you should take responsibility as a captain, to be careful, to watch your step. Do you know what I mean? Watch your step. That's what you should be doing. Not getting sent off and putting the team in the mud again, just like you did against Tottenham, just like you did against Porto. All those teams, of course, guys. That's what, I mean, you got, at the end of the day, I don't think Bruno's a captain. I really don't. I think, you know what? I've made my conclusion about Bruno. I think Bruno needs to leave. I don't think he's good enough. I'm saying it as it is. There are many players that need to leave that football club, not just Bruno, but there are many players that need to leave the football club. Look, I'm talking about levels here, guys. I'm really talking about levels here. If you really want to get into the level section about levels, about Man United, let's talk about levels, right? I come from a decade of Ronaldo, Beckham, Giggs, Scholes, Keane. You know what I mean? I come from that generation. Now, don't tell me any of these players are anywhere near as good as those players. You can talk about your Ahmads till the sun comes home. Ahmad's been poor for 3 games. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you can talk about Bruno till the sun comes home, till the cows come home. He's been poor for God knows how long. And it's not only Rashford. That's the thing. It's not only Rashford. Rashford is a big problem, but Rashford is only part of the problem. He's not the whole. He's not going to remove Rashford and suddenly, miraculously, we're going to start winning and stuff. It's not how it works. We got problems throughout that football club that we can point our finger at certain people. We can point our finger at that. I mean, everyone's going to have their own narratives. Everyone's going to have their own hatred towards certain players. Everyone's going to have their own agenda towards certain players. But me, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just mentioning names that, you know what? We're talking about a big chunk of that squad that is not good enough, guys. And even if it is your favorite, these players are just simply not good enough. It's just as simple as that. And in regards to ability, yeah, we could talk about ability. Ability is important, but it's not only ability. It's mental strength. Mental strength. Don't tell me Onana's good enough to play in a championship winning side. The guy's nowhere near the bloody level that he should be as a goalkeeper. Peter Schmeichel, Edwin van der Sar, hell, even Ramin van der Hal would have saved that goal against Wolves in the third with the corner. Would have grabbed that goal, took authority, pushed the defenders out the way, grabbed the ball. He would have done that. But unfortunately, we have a goalkeeper who likes to stay on his line, who likes to keep it safe, to stay in his line. You know what I mean? So you put yourself under pressure, and you know what? You're on the back foot when the ball comes in the box. How many corners have we conceded the last week, last month? How many corners has it been? It's pathetic, isn't it, when you look at it? It's pathetic. Let's read some of your comments, of course, guys. The legends in the house. Big up, Kenny. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. So, Bruno, it's a liability for months. I'm absolutely fed up. For years, brother. These players have no shame for the fans. Man City fans must be thinking how the heck they lost to us. I mean, look, I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. I don't banter teams until we've done our job, right? Because when you start bantering teams, you got to look at yourself at the end of the day. You got to look at yourself first. Get your own bed straightened out, and then you can start bantering other teams. Because at the moment, Man United are in no place to banter anyone. Guys, we are literally a couple of results from a serious relegation battle, guys. And I never thought I would say that in my life, guys. We're 2 results away. We've got Liverpool. We've got Newcastle coming up, guys. Do you know what I mean? Look how Liverpool are playing right now. We got those teams coming right. We lose those 2 games. Goodness me, hell yeah, we're in a relegation battle. Guys, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And you know what? We can blame everyone. We can blame every single player. You know what? But I tend to look at the players that have been there for years, that wear the captain's armband every single week, and are supposed to be the inspiration, the engine behind the team that push the team forward with a young team and push the team forward and inspire those young players. I don't see no inspiration. I see bad examples. I don't see anything from our captain. I don't see anything from, you know, those players who've been there for 10, 11 years. They're just not there. They've just not got the ability. And that's sad, of course. That is sad. That's how I feel about it. And at the moment, I'm feeling like, do you know what? I'm not obviously blaming Ruben Amorim. What has Ruben Amorim got to do with this crap? You know, at the end of the day, he could play that player. He could play that player. He could play that player. Bottom line is, it's not his team. It's not his team. And what's he going to do? You know, when it's not his team, it's a backlog of players that are not his players. And then people say, well, you know what? If we sacked Eric Ten Hag quicker, you know what? We might have done well. Guys, listen, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, because at the end of the day, we still have a backlog of players that don't fit the system of Ruben Amorim. They do not fit the system. They can have talent, of course, but they might have talent in a certain system. They might not fit this system. That's the thing. Do you know what I mean? And that is the problem with it. You know, we could throw the blame game about things what happened in the past, talk about hypothetical reasons and hypothetical scenarios and stuff like that. It's not going to work, and it's not going to get us anywhere, is it? At the end of the day, what we have to think about right now is what is right now and what we're going to go forward, how we're going to fix this issue that we have and become a force in football again. At the moment, it looks like our record in the Premier League is going to be over. Liverpool will equal it. They are 7 points ahead in the Premier League. They have a game in hand, guys. And where are we? It's a disgrace. And I never thought this would happen at Man United. Sanjay, good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm not so much. Me too, my friend. Me too. Goals for George. I think fans just need to be realistic about expectations. Last season, the moaning and the inconsistency meant Everton ran out of patience, and everything was blamed on Eric Ten Hag. Reality sucks. Patience. Goals for George, exactly. And this is exactly what it is. Until Ruben Amorim has his team, he hasn't even had the transfer window, guys. He hasn't had one transfer window. Tyrone Malacia was left at the squad yesterday because he does not rate Tyrone Malacia. He does not rate Tyrone Malacia. He feels like Tyrone Malacia is a liability. He's not good enough. There you go. These players do not fit Ruben Amorim's system. Even your favorites, even the Armads of this world, even the Dallops of this world, you know, they do not fit Ruben Amorim's system. Unfortunately. Kenny, let's not blame it on the ref. We have been crap. I mean, I don't blame it on the ref. I blame it on Bruno Fernandes, because Bruno Fernandes should know better. If you're on a yellow card, you take it easy. You don't dive into challenges, do stupid things like that. Obviously, the referees are going to be against Man United. They always are. But what do? You don't give the referees a chance to send you off. Because at the end of the day, if you make a silly challenge, you're already on a yellow. You're meant to be the captain. You're meant to be the guy to bring the troops forward. Do you know what I mean? We weren't losing the game at that time. I didn't think we had any threat against us. As soon as Bruno went off, suddenly the floodgates open. And, you know, we conceded the goal. It got disallowed. And then we conceded the goal straight after that. And it was an uphill challenge. From there, we're never getting back into the game. We can't even score against 11 against 11. How are we going to get back into the game? You know, and this is the thing. As a captain, Bruno Fernandes disappointed me yesterday. He disappointed me yesterday because at the end of the day, your captain is meant to be an example. And he did not show me any form of an example yesterday. Yeah, Diallo had a stinker, but yet so people are so obsessed with Diallo. Absolutely, Kenny. Look, at the end of the day, we're not saying that Garnacho is this and Garnacho is that. But why are people like, you know what, jumping on Garnacho when, you know what, Ahmed Diallo's had 4 games for 3 games now? You know, and this is the problem at Man United. It's ridiculous, you know? It's ridiculous. Priorities are not, I mean, the priorities are just not the right priorities for Man United. What we're concentrating on are the wrong things, right? We're concentrating on the wrong things. We need to look at things. Why did we lose that game? And we know a big part why we lost that game. It's probably Bruno, isn't it? At the end of the day, we lost heavily against Tottenham because of Bruno. Right? We drew against Porto because of Bruno. We would have won that game, I feel. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, we have to look at things, people who wear that captain's armband, who are there week in, week out wearing that captain's armband, who are meant to be taking the role of Roy Keane, Steve Bruce, you know, Gary Pallister, you know, these Ryan Giggs, these type of captains at Man United, Nemanja Vidic, Peter Schmeichel. These are captains, right? And I think personally he's the worst captain we've ever had. I really do. JCF, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. This is going to be one hell of a painful fall from grace. Agree on Bruno starting to dislike the guy, an impossible job for Ruben. I mean, I look at Bruno, and you know what? I look at Bruno smiling in the press conferences, you know, and to be honest with you, not happy with him at all. And I'm tired of it. I want to see the apology. Where is the apology? Did we get an apology from Bruno? Did we get an apology? Where was it? I couldn't see it. Again, you got sent off. You cost us the game. Again, what's going on here? Where's the apologies? You know what I mean? None. Absolutely. Big up GCF. Big up yourself. The manager is definitely not coaching these players in training. Selection is a lucky dip. Give them vibes and that to go and the stuff. I'm waiting for the dreaded vote of confidence. Goals for George. I'm not going to jump on the manager. And to be honest with you, I don't think these players are fit enough to play his system. Ruben Amorim is a fantastic manager. I'll tell that. I know that. You know, at the end of the day, we can't keep blaming the managers. We can't keep throwing the managers under the bus. It's not going to work. We're not going to go forward. No manager is going to change this. The only way that Ruben Amorim can change this is if he gets his own team in there. We got players who cannot play his system. We got a backlog of players that are not his players. And you know what? He plays a unique style of football. He's coming midway through the season when the chips are already down. We were already losing under Erik ten Hag. And you know what? He's trying to come from the deep, from the sea, and then from the depths of the sea, and trying to climb up to the top and trying to get us up that league. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. No one said that this is going to be an easy fix. I said that, and we have to be very intelligent. And you're talking about a guy who's seen every trophy under Alex Ferguson. Everyone, right? I'm talking about we need to be a little bit more smart and think, okay, we're going to take a sacrifice this season. We're going to be the sacrificial lamb this season. Right, we're going to lose games this season. We're going to suffer this season, right? But one thing is, we'll be ready next season. We have to be ready next season. And when he's had a couple of transfer windows, and hopefully he does get some of those players in there, then yeah. But one thing I would say to Ruben Amorim, and I'll say this right now to Ruben Amorim, if I could resonate to Ruben Amorim, and if I could talk to Ruben Amorim, I would say that Bruno is not that guy. Get rid of him, right? Dalot is not that guy. Get rid of him. No more contract for Maguire. Not good enough. Simple as that. Ahmad needs to improve. Get another player in that position to play that position. We need a much more technically gifted baller rather than one who just does that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, that way. It's not good enough. I come from a generation they were far better. We need better. We need better, guys. We do. Kenny. I agree, Sal. We have no right to banter our fans. We are such a... absolutely. And this is exactly what I said yesterday. Karma has hit us slap on the face, hasn't it? Slapped on the face, of course, guys. Karma hit us big time. And to be honest with you, I said that yesterday on the WhatsApp group, of course, guys. I said it yesterday. And I'm going to say it again. You know what I mean? Don't banter teams before we've actually stepped... Look, at the end of the day, it's a bit like, you know what I mean? You're watching a boxing match and you're boxing next week, and you know the fighter that you're fighting, you know what I mean, is fighting the previous week, and the fighter gets knocked out cold, right? And you're laughing at him, you got knocked out cold, Then the next week comes in, and then you get knocked out by that fighter who got knocked out. It's just embarrassing, you know what I mean? And that is how I feel. Do you know what I mean? At the moment, we're just an embarrassment at the moment. Honest to God, fan base, everything. It's ridiculous. Bruno, for all his stats, has achieved nothing. I think he only turned up for the FA Cup final with has time with us. I mean, we can argue that, you know what, he made one pass, a great pass, of course, guys. But you know what, at the end of the day, as a captain, common pence, I don't think he's that guy. He's not that guy. And personally, I don't think he's performed well for a couple of years. When we talk about consistency, right, I think he only played well in a counter-attacking style of football under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think that's the only type of football he can play. Again, I mean, no coincidence that Marcus Rashford only played well in that type of football. You know what I mean? Loser type of football, of course. Surprising to say that the subs had a better game than the starters, excluding. Absolutely, there you go. You know, at the end of the day, people are more interested about Garnacho than about Ahmed. I don't care if Garnacho made a mistake. At the end of the day, he was trying to do things. But the thing we would say is that the game livened up when Garnacho came on. The game kind of, you know, we kind of dominated the game kind of thing. You know what I mean? We were trying to score. You know what I mean? I'm tired of these agendas. And we're pointing at this misguided blame, you know, that Every time we're blaming the wrong thing. We're blaming the wrong thing when, you know, it's glaringly obvious what the problem is at the end of the day. I hold Man United players, you know what, through my history, I hold them at a high regard. They should be up here. They should be up here. They should be standing on the shoulders of giants, those players who gave them an opportunity to have this platform. The Cantonars, the Mark Hughes, the Andy Coles, the Cristiano Ronaldos, the David Beckham, the Paul Scholes, the Roy Keanes, the Gary Patterson, Steve Bruce, Dennis Irwin, Paul Parker, Peter Schmeichel. These are the players that gave you a platform, and you should take that platform and use it to show that you play for Manchester United, the team that had adversity. At the moment, you guys are an embarrassment to this football team, an embarrassment. And I can't say any more than that. An embarrassment for this badge. Maguire was okay. I can't say anything about Maguire. I mean, he was okay. I mean, I don't think he had an amazing game. He was average, to be honest with you. Maguire. Go back to 4-2-3 system, not working with these shite. I mean, at the end of the day, Darren, we can't do anything until he's got his own players in. So we might have... I mean, I've always said that success doesn't lie in the compromise. Yeah, we shouldn't have success on compromise. But at the moment, we're looking at these players and we're looking at them deeply and saying, do you know what? These players, they can't play that system. They're not good enough. They lack the IQ. We need to move on from that system, you know, and try and just play a simple system for them to understand, like Goo Gaga system. Do you know what I mean? Goo Gaga system for them to understand. You got the point now. Do you want to play a nice counter-attacking football? Just like your old pal, they're going to Solskjaer when you play that little counter-attacking football, Goo Gaga. That's what you do, isn't it? Let's play a counter-attacking baby style of football, should we? You know what I mean? Because that's the only bloody football they can understand, because they lack the IQ to play a complicated, dynamic style of football that has worked in the Champions League. Pathetic. Honest to God. Honest to God. These players are pathetic. And some of them, honestly, I have no emotional feelings attached towards them. I don't care. I just want them out of the football club. I don't care. I'm not blaming any manager. I stopped blaming managers a long time ago. You know what I mean? I made that mistake before. I blamed managers before when it wasn't the manager. It isn't the manager. We know what the problem is at this football club. And it resonates deep. We need to stop the misguided blame. And we need to obviously look at the problems that really exist at this football club. And it stems deep. Deeper than deep. Deeper than you ever can imagine. Absolutely. Sniper ban. But we won against Wolves last season, and now we lost. Yeah, that's football, Sniper ban. That's football. At the end of the day, you can win one season, you lose the other season. That happens in football, Sniper man. That's football. At the end of the day, things are different. Life is different. Life changes. Teams change. Managers change. That's what happens at football. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what? We got a little bit lucky last season, 1-4-3, of course. But you know what? There are games we lost, which we won this season. We lost to Man City 6-3 last season. We beat Man City this season, didn't we? You know what I mean? You can weigh it up, and you know, life is different. Every single season, you know, it's different. You know what I mean? And we have to look at it like that. You can't just say we lost that game, we won it last season. You know what I mean? The bottom line is that we still have players in that football club. We have a culture in our football club that is just simply not good enough, of course. Liverpool winning a lot. Oh, God, Darren, don't do it to me on this Friday afternoon, mate. You're meant to be relaxing. You know what I mean? Oh, give me anxiety, bro. Amram can't play 4 at the back. He can try 5 at the back. I don't want 5 at the back. Well, how are we going to score if we've got 5 at the back? We just need to play a double pivot. So we should try counter-attacking tactics now. It's not going to be longevity, though, Sniper Man. Longevity, meaning that winning titles and winning Champions Leagues. Maybe we can do it on a temporary basis, just until the next season, until he gets his own players in there. But at the moment, I mean, it's just mad, isn't it? Garnacho was okay. He gave away the goal for the second, but at least he was trying to do things, right? And when he came on, the whole dynamic of the game changed. It's not his fault that no one else at the back when he gave away the ball. But one thing we say, at least he was trying to do things. And look, at the end of the day, he was, you know, we could blame him and people want to blame him, but Ahmed was crap. Again, 3 times in a row. Crap. Right? And we can look at it and look at sinister reasons why you like Ahmed. You know what I mean? He's got the same name as me. My middle name is Ahmad. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? I should have affiliation with Ahmad, right? Shouldn't I have an affiliation with Ahmad? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, look, we could talk about loads of players that were crap. Bruno was crap, right? Useless. Ericsson, when he came on, was crap, useless. Again, you know what I mean? We could talk about that all day long. Malacia, I mean, didn't play, but you know what? Where was Dalot? Again, where was Dalot again? What happened to Dalot? Where was the great Dalot? Of course, we've been hearing a lot about Dalot, how great Dalot is, ain't we? You know what I mean? What a great player he is. Been hearing about that, of course. Anthony was better when he came on. Anthony, fair play to Anthony. Came on, he did okay. Of course, he did okay, guys. Big up, Cargo. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. I don't care what anyone says. If you're earning 100K, 200K, 300K, they end up 14th in a disgrace. They need to pay cuts, and they need. I mean, absolutely, bruv. Absolutely, mate. Because at the end of the day, look, I'm a firm believer that you should get what you earn, right? And to be honest with you, these players are not earning anything. They're going home to their Christmas photos next to the Christmas tree with all their presents and stuff like that. And look at me. Look, I'm so happy with my family. I'm honestly annoyed. I'm annoyed. You know what I mean? I mean, we should be performance-based contracts, for goodness sake. Performance-based contracts, appearance-based contracts. People like Lee Shaw sit on these bloody arse doing nothing. Players out there doing nothing, and it's getting on my nerves, to be honest with you. Honest to God, it really is. The culture at the football club needs to change. Absolutely needs to change. Barman, good morning, bro. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Is it me or Ahmad starting some team change shooting with no? Ahmad needs to improve his game. We can throw Garnacho under the bus all we want, and Garnacho is by all means not the finished product. But I'm telling you right now, Ahmad needs to improve. He's been done nothing. But then again, when you have a captain of Bruno's ilk, right? Bruno's meant to be the inspiration. He's meant to be inspiring these players. If Bruno is doing silly, sinister things like he did on the pitch yesterday, how are these young players going to learn? How they're going to be inspired? I mean, me personally, I don't think players should be inspired to play for this great football club, Manchester United. But it seems like they do need inspiration. Some may say divine inspiration. You know what I mean? But at the moment, they're not playing well. And every single man to a man, every one of them are not playing well. None of them. Rasmus, Ahmad, Bruno, Dalot. All of them are not playing good. Rubbish. That Russia saga destroyed the confidence tonight night after the City win. I mean, Gavin, you know, Marcus Rashford, right? Marcus Rashford's out of the squad now, and I hope he just goes somewhere else and plays for another football club. But absolutely, when we beat Manchester City, you know what? He did make it all about him, didn't he? You know, and to be honest with you, it didn't help the football team. But one thing I would urge, right, is to understand that we're playing for Manchester United. We don't want crybabies. We want players who want to wear this shirt, who want to fight for the badge, who want to win. That's what we want. We don't want any people sulking because my mate Rashford, it's ruined my confidence. We need players with the ilk of Roy Keane. Those sort of players who don't give a flying, obviously, about anything other than what goes on the football pitch. Giving 100%. Do your job. Exactly what Roy Keane says, of course. This is what these players need to do. Do your job. Forget about the outside things. Do your job. I'm not seeing enough on the pitch. I'm not seeing fight. I'm not seeing heart. Even before Bruno got sent off, I saw nothing. I actually saw more when we went down to 10 men, when Garnacho, etc. came on, than we did with 11 against 11. Again, that happened against Porto, didn't it? The same thing happened against Tottenham. The same thing. Is there a common demeanor here? Is there a common demeanor in regards to some of these players? Is there a common thing about, maybe Bruno's just not that guy? Maybe Bruno affects our style of play. I don't know. We can talk about that all day long, of course. Maybe Amram does not want the academy to distort the reality by creating good vibes. Perhaps he wants to bury the first team as they might play. I mean, that's a good point, Goals for George. Thanks, that's a good point, Goals for George. At the end of the day, I don't think, even now, when I look at things, Goals for George, I look at things right now, and I don't think we should be throwing young players in that team. We're going to destroy them with this with this team, we're going to destroy them, in my opinion. We're going to destroy some of these players, absolutely going to destroy them. You know, if we're bringing some of these younger players, definitely. I trust the manager, but these results make me sad, especially because I was up at 1 a.m. Sorry about that, Cyberman. I know how you feel, mate. I know how you feel. The game kicked off late for me. Not as late as that, but you know what? I know how you feel, and I know that it brings people down. But one thing I would say is just understand that there will be a light at the end of the tunnel. There will be success for this football club. It will come. And I know that we've been put through the mud over the last 11 years, and every single one of us Man United fans have been put through the mud over the last 11 years. But one thing we have to say is just keep believing. It will happen, guys. And when it happens, it's going to be sweet. It will be lovely. And I'm telling you right now, we will be here right now celebrating on this stream. We'll go to Old Trafford. We'll celebrate, guys. Absolutely. Yale, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. What a game last night. Yet Prime United right there. I did say we would lose the next 4 games, and we lose the next 3. Newcastle is rocking the boat, and we are inside of a cave. There you go, guys. We're lost inside of a cave. We need the Americans to get us out. Of course, they know all about caves. Big up, Goals for George. Maybe Ahmad looked at his bank balance at the end of the year. So 29k for playing like this. Sod it. Playing like what? Playing like what? Playing like what? Average? Average? I come from Giggs, Scholes, Beckham, Keane. I don't. That's for me. He played crap. He's been playing crap. I don't care what anyone says. Like, and all of them. All of them. You know what I mean? I mean, I have certain standards of this football club that I've witnessed my whole life. You know what I mean? And I look at the players and I see what a good player is, and I see what is a player that these days is classed as generational. You know what? When they're not. We need to stop hyping these players too much. I think personally, we give them too much ego too soon before they've actually achieved anything. We need to hold our jets, all our jets, guys. That's what we need to do, and let's see what these players do on the pitch. We need to be ruthless as a fan base. We need to be intimidating as a fan base. That's what we need to be. We shouldn't be taking mediocrity. Absolutely not. Sal, did you see the video of Ronaldo taking a bath in the pool? Yes, I saw it. I would love to visit there, by the way. I saw it. Big up Ronaldo. Great player. Ahmad is bad at 10 and good at white wing. Sadly, Ruben has not extra 10s to put in. Yeah, that's the problem at the moment, Yale. It is a problem. He's okay at right wing, I would say. He's okay. Well, we do need a specialist right wing. Ahmad's not a specialist right wing, is he? Qataris are still interested in us. They're looking at us with one eye. Good morning, Mark. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Mark. Hope everything is cool with you, my friend. Big up Sal in the chat. Big up Cargo. Big up my friend Freddie. Absolutely good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Hope you're good. Sal, do you know why Cantona went bald? I don't. Maybe he was losing his hair, Sniper Man. Perhaps that was the reason. Or it might be a charity thing. Big up Asherman. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good, my friend. Hope everything is good with you, brother. Hope you're good. Hope you're surviving. Of course, guys. Back to -3 goal difference. My goodness, Darren. Darren, you're the bearer of bad news, my bro. Skyton at United is bad. The people who side these players should be banned from football. Yeah. At the moment, look, the problem is it's not so much about the players in regards to talent. I just don't think we have the players right now who fit Ruben Amorim's system. So they might be good players in a certain system. They might be system players. The thing is, what we're looking at the moment, we're looking at players and we're looking at, oh, they're talented, not looking at the fact that do they actually fit in our system? So when Ruben Amorim eventually does have a window, right, a transfer window, maybe then, he can bring in some players that fit his system. We have to wait until, let's not forget, he hasn't had one transfer window yet. Let's not forget that. He needs, obviously, a couple of more transfer windows to just try and get an element of his team, of course, guys. Big up, big up. Mark, Amorim should surely have these shit players on the list now. So, did you see when Bruno got sent off yesterday, guys? Did you see Ruben Amorim's face? Did you see the way he turned away at Ruben? He didn't even acknowledge Bruno yesterday. Did you see that? Mad, isn't it? There you go. He's starting to turn. Even the favourites, he's starting to turn. Ruben Amorim returned. Ruben Amorim is a ruthless guy. Trust me. Cargo, Sal, the table is actually a reflection of the capability of the players. These players mentally, it's not just about physically, it's about a mental thing. These players don't have it mentally. And if you don't have it mentally, like, for example, if someone left the football team and went to Nottingham Forest or they went to Southampton, they'll play better at Southampton than Nottingham Forest. Why? Because the weight of the shirt is not heavy. Man United is a different animal. The pressure on Man United to achieve things to get to the top of the league is astronomical. You know, and these players don't have the mentality to play for this football club. And for me, clean slate, get rid of them all. And that's what I would say, guys. Now, guys, let's read some comments in regards to what happened in regards to Ruben Amorim yesterday. Just want to read some of these comments yesterday. Right, let's get this up, guys. Let's get this up. Let me get some of these comments up real quickly. Right now, we have to survive. I start this job without having time to train. With many games, difficult games, we already knew it. The road is long. Absolutely, I agree with that. And that is one thing we have to concentrate on. The road is going to be long, guys. Very, very true. They need training because they completely changed the way they play. It's difficult for them when you don't have results. It's even harder for them to believe in it. You have to keep going. Exactly what I've been saying about training, about the difficulty where you have with different systems. This is the problem that these players are having. Ruben Amorim pointed on it yesterday. We have to work on many things in our club, on the pitch, off the pitch. So let's focus on every game and use every minute of training to improve the team. It's going to take time, guys. It's going to take time. And I know people are frustrated. I don't blame you. When you touch the goalkeeper in the air, in regards to Onana, guys, when you touch the goalkeeper in the air, for him, it's difficult to reach the ball. Even a little push in the back when you're in the air can make a difference. That is true. I agree with that. But one thing I do, I come from the era of Peter Schmeichel, Edwin van der Sar, right? You dominate that area. You intimidate the defenders. You don't let them get a chance to push you in the back, to give you a little nudge, to pull your arm. You don't give that. That's one thing I would say to counter that, of course. But it was a foul. We need time. I said there would be a difficult period and it is far from being the end. We must continue. Yeah, guys, this is the only thing we can do. We can only continue, of course. That is what we have to do. Ruben goes on to say, it takes time to train. We knew that from the beginning. It's hard to put all the ideas into practice with the series of matches. We are progressing, but it's hard to see with the results. It's disappeared for us and for the fans. But we have to continue. We knew it would be difficult. Absolutely. Guys, I want you to understand these comments. It's very important that we understand these comments, of course, guys, that it is going to be difficult, guys. Andre Onana cannot go into the ball. I don't want to focus on that. We were near the goal, even with the 10 men. That is a good thing, but we lose and we continue our job. Yeah. Onana was, I mean, the less I say about the better, of course. It's always the same reason it's going to be. We have to be the same professionals, the same guys, winning or losing. Losing, I have to be stronger. I will continue with my idea until the end. Absolutely. As I said, success doesn't come with the compromise. I said it, success doesn't come with a compromise. It's so tough to win games in this league with 11 men, let alone with 10 men. It's more difficult. We have to focus on that. Yeah. But we have to start getting results, of course, as well. Of course, when you lose, when you don't win, it's a step back. It was really hard with the sending off. The goal was similar against Tottenham. Then we tried, even with one less guy, we tried, and I think we were near something. But then Wolves scored the second one. Then in the end, we tried everything, and the transition was 2-0 for us. Let's continue. We have to. We have no choice but to continue, my friend Ruben. Absolutely. Maguire has said, we have to look in the mirror and be better. Set pieces are very important in today's football. And how many goals have we conceded set pieces? Not only defending set pieces, but also taking set pieces as well. We've been poor at taking set pieces, of course, as well. He said, Maguire goes on to say, he's a big player for us in regards to Bruno. He's a big player for us. He'll be disappointed. It'll hurt him. He'll feel like he let the lads down. He did, but we're in this together. But he got to stop getting sent off as a captain. Absolutely. I felt like we did control in the first half without doing much with it. Going into the second half, we needed it to up it, and the red card changed the game. It's hard enough playing with 11 men in the Premier League. It is, but you still got to show character. Liverpool played against 11 men against Fulham the other day, and they went down to 11 men after the 15th minute. They still dominated the game, and they still were in the ascendancy, and they still were the most likely team to score in that game. Guys, I know it's difficult, but I want to show you the player ratings, guys. These are the player ratings I would choose. 4.7 for Onana, crap. 5.2 for Martinez. 5.5 for Maguire. Euro got a 5.3 for me. Mazraoui a 5.3, poor for his standards. 6.2 for Ugarte, average, good. But, you know, better player on the pitch. 5.6 for Mainu. Didn't put a foot wrong, but didn't put a foot right, to be honest. 4.9, poor again from Dalot. 3.6 for Bruno Fernandes. Disgrace. Got sent off. Absolutely rubbish, of course. 5.2 for Ahmad and a 5.2 for Rasmus Højlund. Again, 5s and 3s and 4s again, guys. We got to get away from this mentality with the 5s and 4s and 3 ratings, guys. It's just not good enough, of course. When we look at the substitutes, it's a 5.5 for Eriksen. I thought 6 for Casemiro when he came on. Anthony, a 6.2. Fair play to Anthony when he came on. Did good. I mean, fair play to him. He got a 6.2 for me. One of the better players in the pitch. 5.5 for Xerxes and a 5.5 for Garnacho. I would have given Garnacho more, but he made the mistake, of course. In regards to Ruben Amorim, he gets a 5.5 for me. He lost the game, guys, so you know what? Can't give him much more. And to be honest with you, I would have played the double pivot, and he's got to start dropping certain players. He really does need to start dropping certain players out of that team. And I'm including the fan favourites. I'm including the fan favourites. They need to be dropped. The man of the match for me was, again, obviously, Ugarte with a 6.2. It was between him and Anthony who came on, but I would give it to Ugarte because he played the full match. I would say Ugarte was the man of the match again for Man United. Well played, Ugarte. Did well, but at the end of the day, simply not good enough again. We're clutching at straws at the end of the day. And you know what? It's just not good enough, of course, guys. We need to do better, of course. That is what is the most important thing, of course. Let me read some of your comments. Big up. I think I read that one. Big up, big up. Of course, Mark, honestly, doesn't know what he is allowed to do during... I mean, at the end of the day, you need to practice dark arts, innit? I remember Lens Yeaman, who used to play for Arsenal. Who remembers Jens Lehmann? He used to step on toes, player toes, you know, the dark arts. By accident, he pretend it's an accident. He will step on your toe. But that's how you do it. It's called the dark arts in football. And Man United don't seem to play the dark arts. We play My Little Pony football, and we're too bloody nice. We're too soft. We don't put a foot in. We don't do any dark arts. We're just like, you know what? Let's play football today together with the lads. That's what we are at the end of the day. Absolutely. Kenny, Sal, I just sent that WhatsApp group. Oh, okay, Kenny. I will look at that right now, my friend. Let me have a look. Let me have a look, mates. I thought you already belonged to the group, Ken. I thought you already belonged to the group, mate. Kenny. Done. You're on the group, Kenny. I thought you already belonged to it, mate. Gavin, Amorim is right. Absolutely, he is right. Spot on. I agree, mate. I agree. It's going to take time. Never, ever would you do that, Oliver Kahn. You can try it, but you would end up last to him. Absolutely, Mark. People don't understand about the way goalkeepers used to conduct themselves back in the day. They really don't understand how they used to intimidate the defenders. You can use your hands. Goalkeepers forget this, right? Nana seems to forget what's going on. He can use his hands. The players can't use their hands. You use your hands to your advantage, right? You use this. You do this, and then you grab it, right? You jump and you grab. You're taller than. You're supposed to be taller than most of the players, and you can use your arm. So how comes you can't use the power? Stop being weak and, you know, go for the ball. Bruno surrounded by opposition. Where are our defenders? I mean, he stays on the line though, Barman. He stays on the line and does nothing. He stays on the line. Go out there, win the ball. Win the ball. When have you ever seen him run out and grab the ball? You never see it. Or punch it. Even if you have to flatten a player, flatten them. Even if you have to do it, flatten them. He's not doing that. He's too nice. In my opinion, he's too nice, I think, as a goalkeeper. Yale, was the first time I may be getting a new captain. I mean, at the end of the day, Ruben Amorim looked distraught yesterday. When Bruno Fernandes got sent off, he didn't look happy, did he? He looked absolutely, fed up. He looked fed up yesterday. And to be honest, I don't blame him. And one thing I would say to Ruben Amorim, we did warn him before the game. A number of us warned him before the game, is that, you know what? Just because you think that a player is a captain, that he's your Portuguese, he's one of you, you know what I mean? Just because you're one of those, he's one of your favorites, doesn't mean you can't drop him if he doesn't perform. Because at the end of the day, he hasn't been performing for months and months, Bruno Fernandes, and he needs to be dropped from that football team. I'm sorry he does. At the end of the day, I don't care if he's captain. I really don't. I'm tired of it now. I just want players who perform on the pitch. That's all I care about. Take the captain's armband off it. They took it off Maguire. they could take it off Bruno Fernandes, and that's what I think they should do, in my opinion. Absolutely. Barman, toughness. Oh, no. For goodness sake, you're going to get me banned, Barman. Big up. Toughness, he is. He's not strong enough. As a goalkeeper, I expect my goalkeeper to be domineering, to be showing assertiveness when he goes for the ball, whether he punches, whether he catches, whether he kicks. I mean, he's indecisive. Even when he passes the ball out from the back, he's indecisive. He's not a goalkeeper that fills you with confidence. But he's not the only one, as I said. There's a number of players in that football team are nowhere near the level of Manchester United players. I would say that right now. I mean, at the end of the day, we can argue about who's our favourite players, who should be playing, who shouldn't be playing. Bottom line is, none of them have proven that they have what it takes to play for this great club and to be a representation of what Manchester United are. None of them. Absolutely. Absolutely. But guys, you know what? It's been a great show. I know it's a tough one. It's a little bit of therapy, of course. Mark, I trust Amram to sort out all his trouble and to point out the players who aren't on board fighting. And this is the good thing about Ruben Amram coming in midway through the season. Of course, there are a few negatives, but there are some good points about Ruben Amram coming in the middle of the season. He will divide the bad eggs or bad apples, or whatever analogy you want to use, from the good ones. And those bad apples, and believe me, there's a lot of bad apples in our football club, will be gone. They'll be gone at this football club. Ineos will support Ruben Amram. They're not going to sack him. They know what's going on with these players. They know these players are not good enough. They've done it under various other managers. The evidence is there. If it went to the court of law, we know who's guilty. It's the players. They're guilty. And to be honest with you, you know what? He is going nowhere. Ruben Amram's going nowhere. These players better buckle up and start getting results, because they're going to be out of this football team, and they will be out at a discount bargain price in the summer. Gone, out, wages off the book, new player in, younger players in, new team. That's it. Big up, Freddie. Big up, Freddie, of course, guys. Big up everyone, of course. You know, it's difficult. It's difficult. I want to come on this stream and I want to be positive. I want to be, you know what, enthusiastic. But unfortunately, we've got nothing. We're clutching at things. You know, we're clutching at straws, some of us. And you know what? We're throwing blame game out there to every single player. You know, players that we don't like. We're trying to justify why we're right. When in theory, it's 99% of those players. I mean, who are we going to keep in this football team? It's more, you know, at the end of the day, it's difficult to say, isn't it? Right. Masruri, Ugarte, De Ligt, Euro. And where do we go from there? Ahmad? Where do we go? Garnacho? Bench? Where do we go from there? And you know, what about the other players? I mean, do we keep them? Do you know what I mean? Do these players stay? You know, we have to understand that. Sell all the players. I'm done, bro. Big up this channel. Thank you so much, Abdullah, for joining, my friend. Thank you so much this morning. I mean, I would keep a handful, literally like this, a handful. I would keep a handful of players and the rest of them be out the door, Abdullah. I do believe that. I believe that we need to build around a couple of those players, but a couple of those players are just not it. I mean, a lot of those players need to leave. Ruben Amram was talking about bringing in scouts, assigning scouts to Portugal. He wants Portuguese scouts to scout Portugal. Wants more Portuguese players. Surprise, surprise, of course. You know what I mean? And you know what? I don't care where the player's from as long as they perform on the football pitch. That's all I care about at the end of the day. 17 might be our reality. I jinxed it. Trattles, mate. When we look at things right now, it's looking a little bit bleak, isn't it? We got Newcastle, we got Tottenham. No, we got Liverpool away. I mean, we have to beat Newcastle, don't we? We have to beat Newcastle, because I can't see us getting anything at Anfield. Can you see us getting anything at Anfield, guys? Any of you see Man United winning at Anfield? Can you see it? Ineos and the Glazers have the spotlight back on them. Protests very soon, baby. Yeah. The thing is, what has happened is that the protests have died because of Ineos, of course, and the Glazers pulled an absolute blinder. They got the Glazers to hide them, basically, to be the puppet of the Glazers, and that's what they are at the end of the day. And things better improve, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, people are going to be disillusioned, people are going to be disgruntled, and people will start protesting again. I mean, they have got rid of a lot of people at the football club, people on normal jobs, people on 30 grand a year. They've got rid of, guys, less than that. You know, people with mortgages, people with rent, right? And they've got rid of these people. So, of course, there's going to be problems if they don't bring success to this football club. at the end of the day. They need to bring success to this football club by hook or by crook. They need to do it because otherwise there will be protests. There already is protests going on in regards to the job losses, of course, in regards to the ticket price increases, the season ticket price increases, and the ticket price increases. Let's not forget about that as well. There's been protests about that already. Of course, they're very low-key protests at the moment, but rest assured, these protests will increase. The pressure will be on Ineos very, very soon. A lot of nations do speak Portuguese, including Brazil. Yes, they do. Yeah, and what's the other country that does it? Angola speak Portuguese. We ain't winning any games, bro. Playing like this. Okay, Freddie, we're gonna have to. Otherwise, you know what, bro? We're gonna be in a bad position this time next month, guys. It might be bad now, but this time next month, guys, it's it's. God forbid. God forbid. You know what? At the end of the day, we're going to have to wait and see what happens, man. We're going to have to wait and see. We have to see what happens going forward, of course. Big up, UK Darren. If we win 5-0 Newcastle, will you clean shave? Yes. And if we win 5-0 against Newcastle, I'll shave my hair off. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We ain't scoring 5 goals in 5 months, let alone 5 goals against one in one game. At the end of the day, that ain't happening. Never going to happen. What are the odds in Man United winning 5-0 against Newcastle? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? You should bet me. Bet me. I mean, I'll win. Choco, what's going on? We will not be able to get rid of the players stealing a living wearing Man United shirts in the one time. The only way we could do it, Choco Boca, is if we put these players on a transfer list and put them down to a very, very low transfer fee. And the reason we put them low on a transfer fee is because of their wages is absolutely astronomical, undeserved, of course. So we have to put their transfer fee low, low, low. How low can you go? It's literally how low can you go? We have to do that in regards to some of these players. You have to take a hit to take a win. You have to take a hit to take a win. Man United have to take a hit. Really do. And to be honest with you, it's the only way we're going to get rid of some of these mercenaries at the club. It's the only way we're going to. I mean, one thing I would say is that players like Luke Shaw have been stealing a living. Of course, Malacio, I mean, half of his career has been stealing a living. You know, Mason Mount stealing a living. A lot of these players have been stealing a living. They're going to be very difficult to leave the football club because no one's going to, in their right mind, will sign Luke Shaw. No one. You know, we're going to have to wait till his contract dies down, just like with Phil Jones. We waited till his contract dies down because these players are not going to go to any other football club because they are injured and no other football club will sign these players based on their injury record. Of course, they'd be absolutely insane to buy any one of these players, guys. Really, really would be insane, of course, guys, to buy any one of these players. I mean, we're in trouble, guys. Holding you to that buzz cut. Absolutely, Chattels. We're not winning 5-0. Absolutely not. If we win 5-0, I'll happily do it, guys. I'll go all angles all the way around. I will do it. But I can't see Man United winning 5-0. I really can't, guys. And no, I hope, you know what I mean? I do hope. I mean, the last time we won 5-0, I mean, goodness me, that was a long time ago. So am I the only one that Rasmus looks clumsy and urgent? He needs to improve, goals for George. His technical ability. And sometimes what I want from Rasmus Højlund, and I want this, I want him to listen because I like Rasmus Højlund, right? What I want from him, I want him to take authority. Sometimes when you're not getting the ball, get the ball yourself, take a shot. Get the ball yourself, make something happen yourself. Make something happen. I remember when we had it as Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I think it was the game against Bournemouth. I can't remember, but you know what? He got the ball, he turned, he ran with the ball and smacked it right in the far corner. That are the sort of things you have to do sometimes. Wayne Rooney did it sometimes. Take initiative. I mean, we all remember the goal for Wayne Rooney against Newcastle United. I know it's Wayne Rooney. It's a different level. I know. But, you know, it's all about taking initiative. You know what I mean? It's taking initiative and taking it upon yourself to make something happen. Sometimes you have to make something happen, of course. Barman, I was looking at my football signed in 1969 by Charlton Best, Stepney Kidd, and all those legends. It made me sad that people are still wearing a shirt, man. It is where we come from, Barman. The adversity that we've been through as a football club. We've been relegated in 1974. Of course, we had the Munich disaster in 1958. You know, we've had the cup team in 1980s, and obviously we've had the greatest team in the world a couple of times under Sir Alex Ferguson. Where we are now is getting closely, precariously to our worst footballing team, of course. And you know, one thing I would say is that if we carry on I mean, relegation is not beyond the realms of possibility. It's not, because great teams, that team again in 1974 was a good team. We know that was a good team. You know what I mean? They had great players there. In 1968, we won the European Cup. Let's not forget. You know what I mean? And and the thing is losing is a habit. It's contagious. Just like winning, it's contagious, and negativity resonates. And if we're not careful, if we don't do things properly, things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. My main aim this season, in regards to what I want and what we should be aiming for, is Man United to get a respectable position in the league, even if it's 10th, but we have to win that Europa League. Now, people are going to laugh at me and say, you know what, how are we going to win the Europa League? You know what I mean? We're 13th. It can happen, guys. It can happen. Cup football is completely different. Eric Ten Hag proved that cup football is completely different, and obviously we have to put our eggs in that basket and just make sure that we get a respectable position in the league, starting with a win against Newcastle. You never know in football. You never know. We might go to Anfield and win. Man United have done funnier things, of course. And you know what, we might do them over. Well, and then that'd be great. At the end of the day, I doubt it, but it can happen. It is a rivalry. It is a derby at the end of the day. We have to keep hoping, guys. We have to keep believing that this will change. I hope it does. Felix, good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see Felix in the house. Good to see you. I'm disappointed with our players. Me too, mate. Very disappointed. But what's new? I've been disappointed for these players for a long time now, of course. These players never cease to amaze me, how poor they can be. It's like, how low can you go? And Man United are really world-class. How low can you go to be honest with you? Because at the end of the day, they go low. When you think they've gone the lowest, they've gone even lower. They're really arching that back. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And to be honest with you, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these players, and I'm tired of the same results that I've been seeing for 11 years now. 11 years we've been seeing this rubbish. Call me crazy, but I think favourites to win Europa unless it's one of the pen shout out. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, Chattels. Tottenham are the biggest threat, but obviously we got Bilbao in there. We don't have a good record against Spanish clubs and stuff. We have been knocked out against Bilbao before under Sir Alex Ferguson, and obviously they got Nico Williams and players like that. So you know what, we have got difficult games in there. It is a possibility. I personally feel Man United should win that competition. I know we have no right at the moment. When you look at the league, it does look a little bit disillusional. But you know what? At the end of the day, we have to have a little bit of hope, don't we? It's our only hope, guys, and we have to try and hope that we win it, of course. Somebody like Dalot gets a lot of bails out, but does not know how to use it. Cross his shoot. He doesn't bomb forward. He doesn't cross. He's a passion merchant. He's got to improve. He's not good enough. It's simple as that, Felix. I've been saying it for a very long time, and I'm being proven right week in, week out. With Bruno as well, I've been proven right week in, week out. And you know what? A lot has to prove at this football club, guys. Really has. Guys, I want to thank everyone who's joined me today. Thank you, everyone in the chat. You absolute legends for joining me. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video, and please don't forget to subscribe if you are new. We're on the way to 6,000 subscribers. Absolutely unbelievable. You know what? We're down at the moment, but we have to move on. What can we do? We have to try and be a little bit, patient, because this is going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. There's going to be bad times, but the good times will come. The good times will roll. It will happen, and we'll be here for it, guys. Don't worry about it. At the end of the day, it's not the best Christmas present. Man United hardly lose that Boxing Day. When I was growing up, they do now. Do you know what I mean? So, guys, have a great time. Enjoy your day. Have a peaceful day. Try and be calm. Try and be relaxed. You know what? It will get better. I'm pretty certain of that. And you know what? Man United, the cream always rises to the top. They do say that, don't they? The cream always rises to the top. It will rise to the top eventually. And we'll be well seasoned, guys. Absolutely. We'll be well seasoned. And Man United will be back. By hook or by crook, I firmly believe that Man United will be back at the top of the tree. It's going to be a lot of pain before we feel success, before we feel happiness. There's going to be a lot of pain, but we have to ride it out, guys. Stay positive. Take it easy, guys. Have a fabulous day. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. Take it easy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Big love. Have a great day. Peace.